Monkeys.
I mean, monkeys was the actual first one that came up of all those, because I
learned the
trying to come up. We're not trying to.
Oh, I am. I learned the timing.
You've learned the timing and take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Timing foo. Hey everybody, welcome back to Madness of the Land. We're playing some D&D, some 5th edition here. Of course, joining me today, as usual, is, in not the correct order at all. Oh god, I forgot to do that. Yeah, whatever, I'll do that for next time. Matt, Unfunny One, Joe, and Tiv. So, I'll move some locations of people around for next time. But I think it was a lot better last week, but remember, it's that entire, like, you know, order when people come into the call thing, and meh.
I mean, I'm Signe this game, clearly.
Yes, you're Signe this game, clearly.
Signe's Nokren, Mads is Nokren, Tiv is Tiv. Tiv gets so.
Tiv gets to be Tiv.
And good luck, Joe.
I mean, that's because Tiv is always right.
No, that's because Tiv is tongue.
As always, you
or Mung. Tiv is Mung.
No, yes. As always, I'll remain Mung. You switch with yourself, lucky dog. Look, just because we remember the old Tick animated cartoon doesn't mean anything. Anyway.
Back in our day.
So, we're gonna kind of take in from where we were last time with Rufus, but we're gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit here. So, the setting has Rufus returning to the town, you know, resting up for a brief while, and then bringing himself and his prisoner to the Duke. And the Duke then goes, Rufus, I did not expect to see you again. Once you had disappeared from some months ago, I had expected that you would have either, well, died in the city somewhere or wandered off into the wilds.
I was in the wilds. I was looking for something specific. But I happened upon this.
I see. This is
welcome,
dreadful.
new citizen of the Empire.
Yes, it appears that we weren't the only things from our world brought here.
Has he any information? Glem has lots of information. Please, powerful, strong humans, do not kill Glem. Glem, weak goblin.
He seems a little too eager.
Look, I tell Big Shiny Man what I told Tiny Man about what Glem. Glem tell you stuff about goblins. We goblins there when Sky tore open. Glem and brothers and sisters drawn into Sky just like humans. Yes. Glem and brothers found themselves in very large field. Many panicked because thought we were dead. Ran away. Glem Smart One and Brave One stayed with Master. Many died. Master had Glem and brothers build large fort. And sent many brothers to settle small camps. Edge of field near Sky was safe from many monsters, especially the big one. Oh, but Master not happy. We alone in world. We do not know humans alive. Hi, humans! You alive? You come from Sky Valley like Glem? Or are you from, Wall Valley here? Oh, where was Glem? Oh, sorry. Glem off topic. Glem, no scary humans hurt Glem if Glem not talk. Master left one day with elite guard and generals. We thought they went on mission, but weeks pass and Master not returns. Camps no longer listen to forts. Brothers separate. Only goblins remain in fort. Others spread out into grass. A new boss wants us to find Master. Master unite people again. A group told to find Master. Glem chosen to go with group. Glem speak many languages, like human language. So Glem helpful if find others. Scouts knew where Master went first. Old temple, east of fort. We follow. We find tunnel. Down in the dark, we find big lizard people. Angry big lizard people. Master had killed many of them. So we fought way out to new tunnel. That led here. We explored, and then strange animal men killed Glem's group and tried to kill Glem. Now Glem left. Glem can tell you where cave is. Glem surrender! Glem surrender to big humans! Glem not warrior! Glem translate! Glem can translate for traveling humans, if go talk or speak. Glem not hurt humans! Glem talk to prisoners! Glem help out however want. Glem can show, map of where it came from. There's this tower, and old village, and then big monster, which go, Rrr! Just spare Glem. Glem serve new masters.
I'm just going to stare at the Duke.
He's probably by now he's got kind of like part of his hand over his face. He's kind of like,
Ugh.
what do you think of it, Rufus? This creature.
I have no love of those things. I don't think any of us do. It was by itself. So that much of his story is true. There were beastmen around as well.
Were there remains of others?
At a game, was there?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So he was traveling with others.
At least it seems like our enemies will fight each other if they should meet.
Also, the Kalida are more sophisticated than we thought.
You will have to talk to Mercedes about that, share information. He will be able to figure out more about this information, but sophistication means that there's more danger there too.
Agreed. They have a society. They have farming and such, but they're still ruthless at heart.
I'm afraid I have terrible news for you, Nokren. Though, I'm sorry, I said Nokren. I'm afraid I have terrible news for you, Rufus. Though, Nokren and his team are lost. Now, I can know of this because one of them returned. She seems all right, but has no memory of what occurred. We found her injured, wandering, coming into town. How she got back, where she came from, I do not know. This was about a month ago. We gave time, just hoping that with her recovering, maybe she'd recover some information. But I'm afraid we can wait no longer.
I am sorry to hear this.
Would you be willing to return to the wilds again? I know I asked much of you before, and it seems though the dangers that you face have broken many.
I don't think I can bear it anymore out there. I have been thinking, after finding what I did out there, at this point I will pull my backpack off and pull out the eggs.
He doesn't know anything about that. He's just going to be confused.
Yes, I know. I'm going to tell him.
Uh-huh.
Give me a second. I had an idea when we first viewed the giant mantises out in the wild here. That if we could tame them.
He's gonna raise his hand. If your madness is anything like that old green bitter, then make your experiments. But I will not hear enough of it until anything is complete.
That's who I plan to work with.
It just seems insane already to me. Well,
hopefully
your
they can be a
madness is
great
your
fighting
own.
force. I do have someone, though, that I would trust and believe who would go out, especially knowing that our old threat has returned.
Then go, Rufus. Leave your prisoner here for us to determine with. Go find your friend and summon him immediately. As for the rest of us, he's going to kind of turn to the court. Is there one among you who wishes to take up this role? Our scouts are busy, and we have little chance to spare soldiers. But
a tall, dashing man steps forward. He's about 6 foot tall, but his posture makes him seem even taller. He stands very rugally, wears the suit and armament of the guards, but without the actual armor. And he has tons of ribbons and shit, and he's all beautiful. When you see him, his skin is very pale with almost like marble-like patterns on it. His eyes are like an emerald green, and he has flowing blonde hair. He's a very attractive man, if I say so myself. Zechariah steps forward, and he doesn't have any weapons on him, obviously, because he's in court.
I would not have expected you to volunteer for a mission like this one.
Yes, my lord. And he'll kneel. I don't only wish to volunteer, but I wish to lead it. Sir, you know my feelings on this. I've been very vocal. We need to expand. We need to prepare for war.
And this
Now
sounds like war might be upon us. Yes. If the Dread Army still exists in some form, we cannot be safe. It sounds as though their master might be gone, but I have doubts that this goblin knows everything. It might be a trap, but...
If I can speak freely,
Yes.
my lord, we shouldn't trust anything he says. His kind are scum. They're the whole reason we're here in the first place. But I'm sure Master Orin can get answers from him.
I can send him to Orin and see what he can find out. As for you, though, I'll have you prepare a team. I'm sure Orin will have someone that he would send to represent himself and his skills with you. Expect him to respect a basic chain. I'm giving you this mission in particular, but know this is not a military group I am sending you with. This is ragtag, because it's what can be drawn from the public.
I understand, my lord. He looks down, doesn't seem to be too pleased with the fact that he's being sent out with civilians. But he looks back up with, kind of, getting more, trying to get stoic again. And he'll look and says, if you don't mind, I'll escort he'll look over at the goblin, the prisoner, so we can make haste with this mission.
Let me be clear about what your mission is, though. First off, follow this goblin to find out what has become of the Dreadlord and the forces of the goblins. And then I wish for you to continue the mission of the one called Nokren and his team. If you can find allies or friends or something that can help bolster up our city's defenses and get us in a strengthened position, please do so. And if you should find evidence of Nokren and his group also, They served me well, and I would not wish to abandon them if there was hope of life. Perhaps you could take the one Signe with you. She is strong, and is also of noble blood, as yourself.
Yes, my lord. He'll stand and he'll pull off his I'm assuming he has some kind of ornament, display for his captain of the guard position. He'll take it off and then he'll hold it out to the Duke.
Mm-hmm. Probably Moloch will come over and grab it and put kind of his hand on your shoulder and be like, "Good luck. We expect great things and hope that you come back.
Keep them safe." And then he's gonna grab the goblin's arm and just kind of drag him out of the room and head to the door.
Glam's really upset.
He's not being gentle. He's just grabbing the guy and dragging him.
Please, Glam, really surrender.
Yes.
All right. So you're heading off to Orn first.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'll head to his room.
Okay.
Knock on his door.
If as soon as you knock, it just swings open and he's sitting there. Come on in.
In comes
Oh, hello. Are you new master? Glam surrender to?
As you come in, he's already sitting at like a little table in there, and there are 4 cups of tea sitting there.
Oh,
You
Glam
walk
like tea.
slow. Did Glim slow you down?
No. My indecision slowed me down, but orders are orders, and he looks at the goblin very distastefully.
I like this human better. Can I stay with him?
You...
Tiny human was good too. Tiny human only punched me twice. Much better than normal goblins.
Zach just kind of squeezes his arm a little bit more.
Oh, let go of the wretched thing.
As you wish, Master Orin.
Well, do come sit down. You along, Glim. Have some tea if you'd like.
Oh, Glam like tea. Oh.
You're gonna host this beast?
Whether or not it is a beast, it is humanoid and sentient, and everything has its uses.
Fine. Very hesitantly, he sits down.
As you start to walk in, the door shuts behind you, and if you turn to look, you'll see a very pale, white-haired dwarf that is of average size, but like looks just haggard, sunken cheeks. He's not a ghost.
Zach will just turn his head, not completely turn around, just to look, and then he'll give a nod and he says, what's your character's name?
Ulfgar.
Ulfgar. Master Ulfgar. And then he'll sit down.
Captain Zechariah.
Yeah.
And to give a little more detail, he's he's pretty much always leaning on a quarterstaff because on his back is a very big book, and in the binding of the book is a warhammer with just the top and a little bit of the handle sticking out. And he leans and walks over to the table and sits down as well.
Zach will make sure he sits opposite to either our dwarven friend or Orin. He will not sit across from the goblin.
So he's like next to him. He's like, I am uncomfortable with this arrangement. Ghost and guy who hates me. Clem not kill humans.
If you
Clem
stop
talk to
talking,
humans.
your chances of surviving will go up.
What hatred does to people. So, I heard you have a mission to go out and find some old friends.
Yes, Nokren, a great value to this kingdom. He's missing. I'm sure you know. If rumors are correct, you have ears at every door.
I've also traveled with the man.
That's correct. I forgot about that. I apologize.
But I obviously knew you were coming, yeah. Ears everywhere. It's actually rather fun. And he brings out a fifth cup of tea, sets it to the side, and up comes the little lizard folk from under the table.
Mm. Like, Glem's been busy, like looking around at you, like, when you said ears everywhere, just, like, see if you could find more ears on you.
Come on, man. Goblins aren't that bad.
This one is.
Glem is a horribly abused goblin with horrible mental trauma. He was the punching bag of goblins.
And of this kingdom, if he keeps talking. So I just look at the lizard folk and go, they get big fast. It wasn't so long ago they hatched.
Well, it's a useful trait of their race.
Anyways, so I'm sure you know what this goblin is here for. I'm sure you'll be able to put your skills to use.
I've already begun.
Zach looks at the tea, puts it down.
Glem wondering if Glem is supposed to talk now, since you said Glem talked to Orn?
That can wait.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, you'll be here for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Zechariah,
Yes.
I do have a request of you. Our mutual friend Ulfgar here, he would like to accompany you, and I see no reason as to why he should not.
Zach's gonna look him up and down. He's met him before, but this time he's analyzing him as a military man. Does he look fit or old?
He looks old, he looks worn down. Like, the only thing that gives a hint to his actual strength is the giant book with the warhammer sticking out of it.
Zach will say a formal Dwarvish greeting in Dwarvish, and he'll ask him in Dwarvish, "Are you sure you're capable of doing this?"
I'm being... sorry, his voice is different. I did Orn immediately. I'm being summoned by my god to be pushed out of here.
Okay, I can accept that. That was in Dwarvish. Then he'll look back to Orn and says,
What god is that?
No, that was all in Dwarvish,
Yeah,
sorry.
Glem, go
Yeah,
speak
he
Dwarvish.
speaks Dwarvish.
Oh, of course.
Glem was the linguist.
I'm a translator!
I forgot.
He was the
I forgot.
translator. He had one job. He was smart enough to learn other languages, and that's all he did.
Jorgal. The scribe.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you want to do the actual description, or do you want us to just fast forward through that?
Let's kind of so as the two of you then depart, I guess, to go meet up with Signe.
I want. He's gonna talk to Orn by himself.
Okay.
Zach has
Alright.
thing.
So are you having it is going to take me a minute because dwarven names Ulfgar go on ahead then.
I'm gonna ask Percival. I'm gonna tell Percival, who's been following me this whole time, to fetch, to go and call for Lady Signe, to the manor.
I heard she was still in the church resting.
I didn't ask all that. You were given an order. Go do it.
Okay. Okay.
And then he'll look over to Ulfgar and go, I have to see Lady Signe before we leave. I have to meet her. She might have important information, and it was the request of the Duke that she would come with us. If it's up to her. So, if you want, you can meet me in the church. Or you can meet me back at my place. And I tell him where I'm at and to meet with her as well. Or I can call for you for dinner tonight when everyone gathers.
I'll see you at dinner.
Understood. And he turns to Orin. He goes, Master Orin, may I speak with you in private?
As private as my life ever gets. And he kind of waves a hand, and people come in and grab Glim, and Ulfgar will walk out, but Slashek never leaves.
Ooh, where are we going?
He
Can I have more
just
tea?
stares at you with his red eyes.
Zach's gonna do the power move. He's gonna walk over to a window, stand at a pose, and put his hands behind his back. He goes, Master Orn, I would like to know where your loyalties lie. Do they lie in the kingdom or with the Duke?
That's a rather forward question for someone who's known as a spy master.
I trust you would tell me the truth, and if you didn't want to tell me, you would tell me you wouldn't want to tell me.
Slashek, show him your target practice. And walks over and just pulls down what's supposed to be a map, but is instead pictures of, like, the Duke, with just acid burned into it.
You see a smile creep across Zach's face. Okay. I am also for the kingdom. The Duke is an excellent leader when it comes to civil matters, but this is not a civil matter. We live in a land now that hates us, that we were forced into. We need a real king. We need someone to take up the mantle. I don't know if you know, but before the king's passing, before all this went down, I was the personal bodyguard of the princess. The king raised me.
I've learned this.
Through a number of years, rumors from the princess came to my ear that the king had a son before his marriage. I believe the king saved his son, and his son is alive with us. I don't know if he knows the facts. I'm sure he does, but he needs proof. If we're gonna back him up, put him in position. It's the only way I think we can out-seduce with the Duke, with the love of the people. The king was loved.
So you're asking me to find a lost prince?
Not so much the prince itself, but any evidence, any information that might lead to finding who he is. And any evidence that could prove that he's the king's son.
So, in the end, finding a lost prince. Got it. That's been done before. I'm sure I can figure out a way.
Yeah. I apologize. I know this is a task that you probably don't need to be taking on right now. But
Oh, what else do I have to do other than planning to kill people and listening in on all of their dirty secrets? It gets rather boring after a while.
yes, the game also gets boring. I've been sitting still in court for far too long. It's time to return to the battlefield.
Did you drink any of the tea, by the way?
No.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, well, Master Orin, you always have me on my toes, I have to tell you. Anyways, and his demeanor, his regal posture is like settled a little bit after you kind of showed him the poster, and he'll look back and he'll say, "Be careful. I don't know what the king's reaction, the Duke's reaction is gonna be if he finds out about our plan."
My idiotic uncle. I don't think he can find out at this point.
I bid you adieu. And he'll walk over to the door. You see him take a breath, open the door, and reestablish the pose, the regalness.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna head over to he's gonna head back to the manor.
Okay.
Out of character, there was nothing wrong with the tea.
Oh, okay.
Percival will eventually find you at the manor and be like, the father will not let me take her out, of there. He feels that, if you want to talk to her, you should come to her. I'm sorry. I'm just conveying a message.
It's understood. It's understood, Percival.
Whew.
You need to learn that when we're in company, you call me my lord,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
and you listen to orders and do them. Do not question. We're alone. You can call me Zach right now. It's fine. But when we are the face of the house. We need to show how we know how to play the game. Do you understand?
Of course, my lord. I'm Zach.
Fine. Fetch Waldo. And he'll sit down and have a small drink because he's like, is that tea poison? Waldo, I'm assuming, shows up.
Yeah.
I would like you to send a correspondence to, what's your name, Joe?
You don't know. You know that Rufus,
I don't know.
Rufus was supposed to be retrieving him, but you haven't heard about it yet.
Okay,
You're assuming that the Duke will send him to you.
Okay, so never mind. And he'll inform artists that we should be expecting guests, prepare a nice dinner, and he'll head over to Sydney's manor.
Okay, so Signe is actually at the cathedral. She's been staying there as she recovered. She was unconscious for a number of weeks and has been kind of like probably bed rest for a week, and probably only in the recent couple of days has started moving around as like you've regained your senses, you know, kind of thing. Everyone was surprised with the injuries you had. You were still moving, basically. You look like you were through hell, and you're not sure how you got back, but you did. But you will come across the room where Signe is, and there will be a man there hanging out with Signe, kind of like seeming not like chatting with her.
Just sitting there with her,
Joe,
all awkward and fine.
Looks like he was waiting. Yes, it looks like he was waiting for something. And probably the conversation awkwardly ended because, I mean, like, you know. How would you describe him, Joe?
Somewhat short, very skinny human, dark brown hair, faded green eyes, and many scars on his face and body. These pieces that you can see. And he also has a necklace of goblin ears around him.
They're very dried at this point in time.
Yes, that's the point.
It's probably hard to tell what they actually are, and like you have to get close to realize they're goblin ears or something.
So do they look like the California raisins? Just like...
No, he had them 10.
Okay. I've met you. So when I see you, I know your name, I would assume.
Yes.
Right?
You would recognize him. It has probably been months since you talked to him last, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, what's your name?
Chance.
My name is Chance.
Yeah.
Chance. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. That's my nephew's name. Cool. That's weird. Hello, Chance. I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Nor was I you. I guess we're all part of a team now.
Yes.
Kind of like old days, in a way.
Yes. Hopefully we fare just as well.
I've talked to my friend Rufus. He's told me of the threat that's come back.
Never left.
Okay, that has come to this place with us.
Yes.
You know
we
my...
should have known this. We should have known this when they found the first goblin. Instead, the Duke decided to send him on a mission.
You know my feelings of them. I have lost too much to those things.
Yes, I can completely understand that. He'll look over to Sydney.
Signe, you're like, there's a conversation with some people here. Like, someone showed up and was like, someone is supposed to be coming to meet you. I'm supposed to meet them, so I thought I'd, like, show up here. And then it was kind of like awkward silence for like 20 minutes.
Oh, no, she completely ignored that. She's been ignoring this conversation and just writing in her journal.
Excuse me, Lady Sydney, I presume.
Not much of a lady.
But I'm not used to that kind of response. Baron Zechariah Anderson. Matrix. Anders.
Mr. Anderson!
Zechariah Anders. Baron of the House of Anders. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Or, not lady. Sorry.
Completely ignores you.
Do you know where Nokren is?
You know how many people have asked me that in recent weeks?
No.
Hundreds. Do you think my answer has changed?
I don't know. You look
It
better.
has not.
Okay.
If I could tell you where they were, I would tell you. They were my friends.
Even the goblin?
She kind of laughs a little bit, just under her breath. Clicky was a special case. But in his own way, yes, he was my friend.
That's good for you. To be so open-minded.
At that word, I edge away from her.
When you're someone like me, you learn to be open-minded.
Yeah.
There's
When you see it.
open-minded and there's stupidity.
Let's be civil.
As if I've ever been civil.
Well, I tend to believe in the best in people. So maybe you are. Maybe you just need the right circumstances. But anyways, have you heard of what's been asked of us from the Duke?
He wants us to go back out there, doesn't he?
Yes. I will only take you if you want to. You're not being forced to go.
At the chance to find my friends, I will go back out there.
Okay.
But don't ask me to do more than that.
Well, I'm having a nice dinner at my house tonight. Chance, I know I've sent you numerous correspondence asking you to show up before. I'm hoping you will tonight. We could discuss things with everyone that's going out. There's not many of us, so I would like for us to become friends and work as a team. I'm going to rely on all of you for my life, and I will give my life for all of you. So we need to get to know each other.
Considering the circumstances, I'll be there.
Thank you. Sydney?
I suppose I don't have much of a choice.
Duty calls. And he'll just turn and walk out.
Peace.
Alright, why don't we take our first break here, and then we can go into the dinner and a little bit of role-playing before we kind of move on to the main quest, now that the new team has assembled. Signe seeking some closure to what happened. Zechariah.
Aw, Clicky was her friend. Oh,
Yep.
I thought she hated Clicky.
Shouldn't hate him.
It is. Remember, it was in his own special way. But anyway, yep. So we're gonna take a quick break. Go to the bathroom if you need to. Get a drink, get a snack, anything you need, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So
Get
we'll
a
run
whole
through that.
bathroom.
Yes, get a whole bathroom. Just take the
Get a
entire
whole
bathroom, bring it back over here so that you can go to the bathroom while watching. You don't have to worry anymore.
See, now I wish I had a toilet like the ladder knight, and I'll just put it here.
Anyway, after you're done that, we can get back to the show. So see you in a minute, folks.